bolstering, bursting, necrotic, and fortified. You know, we're all used to demon hunters like just mashing all their buttons and the healers just getting pissed off at them, and then everybody leaves the group, right? So should we go do that on a 30? You know, with eye level 147, should be doable, right? We don't like to be called a basic bitch around here, so we like the slaughter poison look. Pretty cool, right? Especially when you're using a red transmog. What else do we have here? Yeah, the companion is super cute. A little funky, you know, goofy looking bat, baby. Pretty cool. This is the best part, so I'll save that for the last. Um, Another bat mount, always awesome, especially when it's armored. Really, really cool. I'm digging that. And the final thing is how fucking cool is that, right? Like 6 daggers just spread out like wings on your back. How can you not like that? You know? And the colors, looking at them here, like would match pretty perfectly with what was it, the ICC 25 set that had like that type of green and that reddish hue to it. It was almost like a reddish pink, but yeah, I think this would go really well with that. But it even goes well with like Blood Fang and stuff, as you can see. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to show you guys some cosmetic stuff. All right, guys, figured I'd show off a couple of things that make Outlaw really, really fun now. And the rotation hasn't really changed too much, but these two abilities, uh, well, one ability and one legendary, actually make it a lot more fun. So, first of all, getting Dreadblades back um, is great. I think in Mythic Plus, Alacrity will still be the go-to because, I mean, 10% haste is nothing to sneeze at, you know. Very, very good there, especially when you'll be cleaving a lot with Blade Flurry. So you'll probably go Alacrity and Dancing Steel for Mythic Plus. But Dreadblades, you know, giving us an actual burst cooldown now is great because Adrenaline Rush is awesome for energy regen, but definitely not a burst cooldown. But between Dreadblades and the change to Between the Eyes, um, you know, that's some great burst potential there. But yeah, whenever you pop Dreadblades, you definitely want either Adrenaline Rush or some sort of haste buff rolling at the same time so that you can get full value out of this and not have any downtime waiting for energy just to hit, you know, your builder to be able to spend. Because Dreadblades is just builder and then spender, builder, spender, builder, spender for the whole duration. So, and with deeper strat right now, you know, like I only have 14% haste. So, you know, there can definitely be downtime if you don't have something rolling during that that increases your haste. But you know, so vigor might even come into play like early in the expansion before you get, you know, sufficient haste to be able to counteract stuff like that. But yeah, right now just running deeper strat, Prey on the Weak, Dreadblades, and then I'll show Blade Rush and Killing Spree. Um, yeah, very, very cool addition. I like that they brought that back from Legion. And also the these bracers, bringing back Combat Insight is so much fun. Um, you know, because the rotation, as I said, is really simplistic. So, you know, having something to pay attention to and watch um, is great, and it's not an extra maintenance buff. You know what I mean? Like Slice and Dice or whatever. So it's not adding any funky stuff there. It's just, you know, something that you want to pay attention to so you can capitalize on it. Um, Hopefully all you guys remember combat insight when it was a thing, but basically as you get into combat and start hitting, it's gonna put up a green buff up here, which is shallow insight, where you'll be doing just a little bit more damage. And then as you keep attacking, it's gonna switch to moderate insight, which is yellow. And then deep insight will show a red buff, and you'll also see some blades on the edge of the HUD here to let you know that you're in deep insight, but you're still going to want some sort of a weak aura or tell me when or something to track your insight. You know, wherever you like to look on your screen for buffs like that, you're going to want something to let you know, where you're at in your insight without having to look up here. So that you can kind of plan in advance, you know. I am Venthyr right now, which I don't recommend for rogues, but I was already Venthyr testing out sub with it. So that's, but this video isn't really to show covenants and stuff anyway. Necrolord is probably going to be the go-to. As boring as Serrated Bone Spike is, it is kind of like our most powerful ability as a rogue, covenant wise. So yeah, but anyway, just keep that in mind. So I'll come into it using slaughter and it'll get up that poison and everything, but otherwise you would just ambush, right? If you're Necrolord or Night Fae, could potentially be another good covenant, especially PvP wise. For Outlaw, if you went Night Fae, like you could use Night Fae defensively or offensively, just time it properly, get that vanish, and then be able to get an extra cheap shot in, or, use it as a defensive, just time it right so you get that vanish and you can, avoid a lot of damage that way. But anyway, back on topic. So, to begin the expansion with our haste being low, and it'll be much lower than mine right now. Like without Euphoria running from Venthyr, that put it up to like 37% after the fact. But yeah, you can see I have an epic gear level at level 60 of 190, and it's still only at 14%. And it's going to be even lower, as you're leveling. So if you're looking to utilize Dreadblades, early in the expansion, then it may be worth going Vigor. Otherwise, you're going to want some sort of a haste buff. Either, use Adrenaline Rush with Dreadblades, or if you have, some other reliable source of a haste buff, that would definitely be, the way to use this ability so that you can get full value out of it while still running. Okay, here's the energy regen, the buried treasure. So this would be, I guess that works out then. So, if you have buried treasure, that would, and you don't have Adrenaline Rush, that would be a great time to use Dreadblades, because you're getting that extra energy regen. Now this is if you're running deeper strat. If you're running Vigor, you'll be fine either way. Not having a haste buff up, you'll still get the full Dreadblades without any downtime. But yeah, if you're running deeper strat, get that buried treasure, or make sure you have Adrenaline Rush up. But yeah, rotationally, I mean, super simple. Get your Roll the Bones up. That's a really good buff. And then, before you go to use your Dreadblades, just make sure you have Between the Eyes up. And like I said, either Buried Treasure or Adrenaline Rush as well. Let's get Slice and Dice up. And then let's get to Deep Insight. and then use between the eyes into our cooldowns. So right now we're at shallow insight. Now we're at moderate. So let's get full combo points. All right, there we go. So use our cooldowns here. So builder, spender, all the way through the duration. So yeah, that's one way that you can burst, by using that during deep insight. If you're running Prey on the Weak, then, you know, after your first builder from Dreadblades, you'd want a kidney shot, because you're going to want to go into these cooldowns with between the eyes up. So your next one, you'd want to get Prey on the Weak, you know, so you're getting a ton of crit and crit damage from between the eyes, and then the 10% extra damage from Prey on the Weak, along with the 30% damage from Deep Insight. So great way to burst there. And then whether you're running Blade Rush or Killing Spree, you could work around that as well. You can see Blade Rush does decent damage, like 13 or 1400, and it can cleave. So if you're not familiar with the ability, 45-second cooldown, and deals the most damage to your main target, and then also cleaves other enemies. But if you have Blade Flurry active, then it will cleave for the full amount on all targets. So something to keep in mind. For Mythic Plus, like I said, I think Dancing Steel will just be the go-to, like it has been for so long. But PvP wise, you know, you go Killing Spree, you're going to really want to set it up well to make sure that you can't be CC'd and get full value out of this. But if you feel like you can't do that, or maybe you have a comp that doesn't have a whole lot of cross CC to allow for that, then Blade Rush could be decent, you know, and it is also a gap closure as well, right? So gives you an extra gap closure outside of your grappling hook. But yeah, when using I'll go ahead and cool this down again, since it works with Restless Blades. There we go. So now I can actually switch to Killing Spree once it puts me out of combat. Yeah, so I can show you Killing Spree now instead of Blade Rush. Go ahead and pop those and get Slice and Dice rolling. And build up as quick as we can here. So we're at shallow, now moderate. Okay, deep insight. So between the eyes, kidney, and then Killing Spree for the rest of that duration. So that's another way to burst, you know. And in the past, like in Legion, I remember sometimes, you know, it was beneficial to pop Dreadblades and Killing Spree in the same go, but a lot of times, you know, one of those would be sufficient, because you could get defensive cooldowns and trinkets and stuff with one, and then for the next go, like during your next kidney, you could use Killing Spree. You could split them up that way. But it's nice having options now, you know, because Outlaw's kind of been lacking for a while in PvP. Now, obviously, it's been Baller and Mythic Plus, but, you know, now we're getting not only burst options here, and there's even more burst options in with PvP talents, like Thick as Thieves is going to give you and your friendly target 10% extra damage whenever you tricks, and then you could get another 10 with Plunder Armor. you know, so there are options there on top of burst cooldowns. But we're also, you know, getting poisons back, so that's been an issue with Outlaw PvP lately too, is just not having a Mortal Strike, you know, but now being able to use wound poison for PvP is going to help out a lot as well. So I can definitely see Outlaw being viable again in PvP. How viable will, you know, depend on the numbers tuning that they do and whatnot, but it's definitely got the toolkit now to compete. So hopefully, we'll, you know, Blizzard will do it justice and it can be competitive. Because, like I said, for Mythic Plus and whatnot, it's definitely not an issue. Like, it's been competitive. It's been top, actually. But yeah. Just to reiterate, don't go Venthyr, especially if you're Outlaw. Um, but other than that, yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to show. This legendary is so much fun, and I'm glad to see that Combat Insight is back. So, yeah, Outlaw could be fun again, guys. So, anyway, hope you got something out of the video and enjoyed it. If you did, then throw me a like or a share or something, or just, you know, comment and let me know what you think about Outlaw going into Shadowlands. So I'm pretty excited about it. I want to play sub more than anything, but right now sub is pretty much great if you use one legendary. That's called Akari's Soul. But if you don't, then it's just kind of mediocre. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen with sub there. Like it's kind of OP with Akari's Soul, but then if you don't use Akari's Soul, it's, you know, just kind of decent. So we'll see where that ends up. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. I'm praising the Primus as my induction to the Necrolord. You know, in my head, I'm singing "Jerry was a race car driver."